All right, today we're tackling a question that's probably on your mind a lot lately. How do we stay valuable? How do we thrive in a world that's just being taken over by AI? Let's dive right in.
I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. All that time, all that money, all that hard work, and then poof, it's potentially obsolete. This isn't just some made-up fear, it's a real anxiety that a lot of people are feeling right now.
And look, it's so important to get this straight. This is not some problem for the distant future. It's happening as we speak. We're already seeing jobs in customer support, basic writing, even simple coding. They're being automated away. Basically, the closer your job is to repetitive work on a computer, the more at risk you are.
Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. Not even close. You see, while AI is for sure going to eliminate a lot of old jobs, it's also going to make certain human skills more valuable than they have ever been. And that is the massive opportunity we're going to break down today.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with a quick reality check on AI. Then we'll get into the skills you need, from how you think and act to how you can actually use AI, and finally, how to connect with other people. And then we'll talk about how you can grab the future by the horns. Let's start by framing this the right way.
Yeah, there's a threat if you decide to stand still.
But for anyone who's willing to adapt, this moment is one of the single biggest opportunities of our lifetime. Okay, so our first pillar of value is all about what goes on up here in our minds. Let's look at the skills where humans still have a huge and maybe even permanent advantage over any machine. The first skill is a big one: critical thinking. You have to understand at its core, an AI is just a super sophisticated prediction machine. It's just guessing the next word in a sentence. It follows instructions, sure, but it has zero real understanding of context or consequences. We humans, on the other hand, we can evaluate options, we can challenge the very premise of a question, and we can think about what happens next and after that. That kind of thinking is something companies will always pay a premium for.
Next up, creative problem solving. Look, an AI is awesome at solving problems that have been solved before, using data it already has. But throw it a curveball, a totally new situation, and it just falls apart. That's where we shine, connecting dots nobody else sees to invent something brand new. That's the engine of all real innovation.
And the third thinking skill, pattern recognition. It's about seeing the forest for the trees. Whether it's in business, tech, or culture, you see these patterns emerge. If you can train yourself to spot the signals before everybody else does, you can ride the next big wave instead of getting crushed by it. All right, let's move on. This next section is less about what you know and more about what you do. It's all about your mindset, your speed, and the raw power of just taking the initiative. We've all heard this, right? It's the sound of passivity. It's seeing a problem and just waiting around for someone else to deal with it. That's the mindset that gets left in the dust. And then there's this: I'll fix it. That's the mindset of what we call high agency. It's the belief that you are the one in the driver's seat of your life. It's the opposite of waiting for permission. It's taking ownership, finding a solution without being told, and just moving. In a world changing this fast, the winners aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who act. And no AI can replicate that. Which brings us to this number, 30. What if you could teach yourself any valuable new skill in just 30 days? This represents a super skill, really. The skill of learning how to learn. It's not about just cramming information. It's about breaking a skill down, practicing the most critical parts, and getting feedback fast. This is the one skill that unlocks every other skill. Because honestly, in the future, what you know right now is way less important than how fast you can learn something new tomorrow. If you can pick up any new skill in a month, you're basically future-proofed. You become adaptable, and adaptability, well, that's the ultimate survival skill. Okay, so we've covered thinking and acting. Now let's talk about how to take this supposed threat and turn it into your most powerful tool. It's about working with the machine, not against it. This is all about AI fluency. And let's be super clear, this does not mean you need to be a coder. It means you need to be an expert user, knowing how to talk to these tools, how to write great prompts, and how to work with them to get incredible results. That's already a high-income skill right now. And if you want to take this to the next level, you get into building AI agents. This is one of the fastest growing opportunities out there. Think of an AI agent as a digital employee that you design yourself. It's a whole system you build to handle a business process from start to finish automatically. I mean, just think about it. These agents can run 24/7, finding new sales leads, handling customer service, analyzing data, businesses are desperate for people who can build these systems for them. It saves them a ton of time and money, and they will pay top dollar for it.
All right, now for our final set of skills. In a world that's getting more and more automated and artificial, what becomes incredibly rare and valuable? Real, genuine human connection. Its value is about to go through the roof.
This is where things like communication, building a trusted personal brand, and telling a great story become absolutely critical. You know, an AI can generate a report, but it can't lead a team with empathy. It can create content, but it can't build authentic trust with an audience. And it can spit out data, but it can't tell a story that makes people feel something and want to take action. Only we can do that.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's simple, really. The future doesn't belong to humans or to machines. It belongs to the people who figure out how to combine the unique brilliance of human intelligence with the unbelievable power of AI. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to a choice. It's a pretty stark one. You can either resist this change and risk getting left behind, or you can lean in, learn these skills, and absolutely thrive in this new world. The path forward is through adaptation.
And that's really the only question that matters now. It's not if the world is going to change. It already has. The only question is, will you change with it? The future belongs to those who get ready for it today.